you've got to memorize facts. How do you do that? And I love it because I get a lot of students from anatomy coming to me going, I can't remember. What you use, mnemonics. In my view, they're quicker, easier than rote memorization, and I do use them. Mnemonics come in several flavors. We have acronyms. We have the coined sayings and interacting images. There are other types of mnemonics. Technically, taking notes is a mnemonic because a mnemonic is any system that facilitates recall. Most of what I've been talking about are technically mnemonics. But these are more formal, okay? How many of you have learned that you can take letters and form a word of it, using those letters to remember certain facts? Okay? Ones that come to my mind, Roy G. Biv. How many of you know about Roy G. Biv? You know. Those are the colors of the rainbow. Now, if you're in an art class, that could be important. If you're taking physics and you're learning about the spectrum of light when it goes through a prism, or you're breaking down light in anything that refracts it out, like a rainbow, you know. Colors are what? Pretty easy. Now, how long would you have to work with flashcards to remember that? Now, in my Intro to Psych class, see if anybody remember afferent? You can tell me. We both talk about this. Afferent neurons in the periphery, what do? From sensory receptors toward the CNS. Efferent? CNS? To the effectors, muscles basically, okay? The trouble is, when you're teaching this, and this is good for you to know as students, anytime two things are highly similar but not the same, you get maximal interference. That's how we talk about problems with remembering. So you memorize it without really knowing it, and you're sitting there on a quiz going, oh yeah, it's afferent. No, it's efferent. No, it's afferent. How many of you have done those flip-flops? And your brain gets, and then you tell the teacher, you're tricky. It's not tricky if you know which is which. It's very easy. But if you're confused, it's terribly tricky. And I just once again think, oh, you didn't really know it. So when I tell my students, really they're both the same. Whoop. Sensory are afferent. Motor, efferent. Now with that little acronym, SAME, you can study very little. They're both the same. Now, this is where I had a student in my class say, okay, same, big deal. But I'm in anatomy and physiology. I says, what's giving you a hard time? He says, we're studying the heart. I said, oh, I took a really light anatomy course. What are you studying? The left and right atria. One is deoxygenated blood, and the other one's oxygenated because one's on the way to the lungs, the other one's coming back from the lungs. And she said, I can't keep it straight. Now that's a factoid. She understood the function of it. The concept was there. But every quiz she'd flip-flop. The right is deoxygenated. No, the left is deoxygenated. Boo, boo, boo. So I said, okay, tell me which is which, because I don't know. She looked it up in her book, and I've never forgotten. She said, the right atrium is deoxygenated. Am I correct? Better be. I said, can you remember radio? This guy was sharp. Says, that's not how you spell radio. I said, you're correct. It's an acronym. Right atrium deoxygenated. Her little eyes lighted up. With one little thing, she could keep it straight, okay? And if the right atrium is deoxygenated, the left atrium is, or LATO, if you like LATO, okay? I don't know, it's dumb. Now, this is where I put a challenge to you. Sometimes acronyms can come up that are very easy. Now, I'm going to go with one, and you can help me on this. 12 cranial nerves. Give me the saying. No, not the other. No, not that one. There's two of them.
Yeah, on Old Olympus's
Towering top.
a fin
And then viewed some hops. Okay? Now, what she just gave you were the 12 cranial nerves, the first letters in descending, right, from the top to the bottom. And I've never learned all of them because I didn't take that serious. But if you know on old, obviously O, O, you're going to have, what are they?
the olfactory optic.
Okay, olfactory, optic, okay? And you go right down, Old Olympus, towering top, da-da-da-da-da, okay? If you can come up with an acronym, or pardon me, a coined phrase, how about this? In 1492, there you go. How do you unscrew something? You turn it counterclockwise. You turn it clockwise. So I tried to teach my son this. He says, no, Dad, it's righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. That's another saying. It's perfectly good. It's just one that I didn't know. How many days in the calendar? 30 days, hath September, April, June, and November. We used to learn that. They don't do it anymore. You kids have learned knuckle counting. January, February, March, April, May. It'll tell you long, short, but it will not tell you the number of days in February, nor the rule where leap year makes it 29, right? Little sayings can allow you to remember things very well. My very good mother just served us 9 pizzas. She knows it. What are they? Planets from the sun outward. Unfortunately, the pizza is no more. It got degraded, right? It's no longer a planet. Okay, those are the sayings. Sometimes a saying allows you to remember things. For my money, though, the third one, interacting images, is the best of all. And I'm going to draw from nutrition. How many of you have taken human nutrition? Aha! You can tell me then. How many calories per gram in protein? Dang! Do you remember? Oh, no! It's 4. By the way, some books say 4.5. Calories per gram in carbos? 4. Calories per gram in fat? And that's why when you consume fats, you're getting twice the package there. It's why Eskimos eat a lot of what? Fat. They need energy. It's why if we eat a lot of fat, we get the gut going. I had a woman come in, sweet lady, 40 years old, crying. I'm too old to learn. What? I said, I'm older than you. I can still learn. Come on, what is this? She was taking human nutrition. She understood the concept of protein, the concept of carbos, the concept of fat. Says, I can't remember the details. That's typical as we get older. I said, okay, you're stuck on a fact, not the concept. What are the facts? So she told me. I said, okay, let's start with something easy. Carbohydrates. You got to remember 4 and only 4 to carbohydrates. Carbohydrates. Starting to see? Interacting image. How many syllables in the world? Just say it, carbohydrate, 4. Now, I said there's an easier one. When I hear the word carbohydrate, that first part, C-A-R, is what? What's C-A-R? Car. How many wheels on a car? 4. Cars have 4 wheels. Carbohydrate would have 4. Now, how many know about racing? You got the pro car circuit. Would a pro car have 4? Just like a car. Protein, pro car, 4. Now she's starting to see what I'm getting at. Fat, fat. How do you remember 9 in fat? And she goes, that's my problem. I can't remember. Well, let me ask you. Some of you know about cats, vet tech, right? How many lives do they have? 9 lives. Now, there's also an expression for rich people. What do we call a rich person regarding cats? Would a fat cat definitely have 9 lives? So I picture fat cats with 9 lives. This woman was almost gleefully happy. 9 calories per gram in a fat cat. Now, I've used this in classes, and I try to get people to realize interacting images work even better if they're a little weird. The weirder, the better, actually. But if you share them with friends, they may go, ooh, my God, you're sick. So you may not want to share them all. I have a bunch, and I will not share them in this class. They keep things straight in my mind, but they would sound weird. But one gal came down, and it was so cute. She says, Marty, I have a way to remember 9. She goes, I was stationed in Germany. I picture a very obese Fraulein looking at a bowl of strudel, going, 9, 9. I loved it because it's a homophone, but do you think she'll ever forget 9 and fat? She'll just picture the two together. Now, the more you can create those interacting images, the easier it is to remember facts. By the way, alcohol, anybody know? 7 calories per gram. How many letters are in the word alcohol? 7. And if you're a bartender, what's the classic call drink? Seagram 7 with 7-Up. They call them 7 sevens. 7's everywhere. So the more you know about Seagram 7 with 7, it's like 7 calories per gram. By the way, that's also if you drink a lot, you get heavy quick. It's not very utilizable, but it is energy in your body, which we convert to fat fairly quickly. Okay, got the idea? By the way, eggnog, fat and alcohol, yeah, you can pork out almost instantly. I've gone beyond my time. I know that she has to be out of here. I think there might be another class. I thank you so much. There's a handout up there. There's also, God, I'm not going to do this. I've been here long enough, I don't have to. If you have questions, come see me. You were a great group. Thank you.